All right. Okay, the report. This meeting is being recorded.
I knew we were going to get it.
All right, beautiful, baby. We there now.
I gotta make sure.
Get us on the same
There you go.
level. There we go. I can see you now. Okay, good.
Welcome to Film and Medicine. I'm your host, Dr. Moshe.
I absolutely love what I do. I love inspiring people to take better care of their health. I love helping people actually dig deep and pull out their best. So my business is called, my boot camp is called Fit to Win Boot Camp. It's about winning. It's about challenging yourself to be the best at whatever you do.
Listen, we ain't laying hands. We ain't breathing on people. Listen, Benny Hinn, he can't come to my church and say, the breath of God is upon you. Receive that. No, we're not doing it. I want you to come to my church and be like Joel Osteen. I want you to stand 15 feet away and say, this is my Bible. I can handle it. I can do it. It says I can do it. In Jesus' name.
Lean forward, Ebony. Let me get that forehead. I got you already. You good. Okay, Ebony, 93.9. Oh. I'm gonna need you to come up off that song. Okay.
Welcome to another episode of Laughter Medicine. I'm your host, Dr. Moshe Lewis. I'm excited today to be joined by comedian Michael Colyar. His reputation precedes himself. Welcome, Michael.
Hey, man, thank you for letting me be on the show to talk to you, brother. Thanks for even thinking of me. Blessings.
Sure. Well, that's where I want to start. I want to start with your show. You've done over 300 episodes. You've had everybody who's in it for a minute. And just tell me like how the idea came to you and just sort of the passion, because you were doing this well before COVID.
Right. Well, I'm going to say, that we have 3 shows that I do. I think what you're referring to is my morning show. The Michael Colyar morning show is 5 days a week, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we did it during COVID. COVID is what brought this about. I lost all of my jobs on March 13th at one time because every comedy club in America closed on the same day. Wow. So I was booked for months. All that went away. So I came back home and I could have sat here and cried like a little girl, or I could have figured out something else I can do. I think that COVID is really not about fear. I think it's about pivot and health. I think it's about you building your immune system, but also pivoting, because we've all been thrown in positions that we're not comfortable with. And now we can get a chance to go into ourselves and pull out tools that we generally don't use. It's just lying there dormant. Les Brown said that the richest place in the world is the cemetery, because so many people died with their dreams never being fulfilled, you know? So I'm thinking I'm not out doing these comedy shows like I want to do, but I still want to entertain and perform. So I decided to start a show at my home, right here in my living, right in my kitchen, where I can talk to people, entertain people, interview people, and still be doing my craft. But the same token, we wanted it to be a show where people could laugh and pray every day, because I think people are so messed up with stress and fear. Now, we've only done 307 shows. And they are fantastic. The show tomorrow is going to be awesome. But anyway, that's what we do. The other 2 shows is I do a show where I read to the children every Tuesday at 11 on Instagram. It's called Reading with Mr. Mike. And actually, the host of the show is here today. Roscoe is here. Yeah, he hosts the show.
Wow.
Yeah, I mentioned you. You mentioned me. Yeah, I mentioned you. This guy's got a show.
So now look at that. Hey, Roscoe.
He's got a show. Well, hi. That looks like a doctor. That's Dr. Moshe. Okay. So he's the one who hosts the children's show when I read Reading with Mr. Mike. So he hosts the children's show on Tuesdays. And then every Wednesday, or most Wednesdays, I do superstar interviews where I do 30 minutes to an hour with celebrities one-on-one. So I've done Wyclef Jean, Russell Simmons, Yolanda Adams, Fred Hammond, B. Nicole, Genuine. Anyway, that's what we do on the Wednesdays. So those are the shows I do, but all of them were birthed because of the COVID situation, putting people out of jobs. And so I just figured out another way to pivot, to turn, and find another tool within myself I can use.
Exactly. Let's talk about sort of where that drive came from. How did you find comedy to sort of be your way to give something back and then some?
I don't know. It's been a long time coming too. I've always wanted to give back to people.
Right.
I always want to heal. I believe that we are servants to the Lord, and we are supposed to be of service to each other. And so giving is very important. I think if you ever want to have anything, you got to learn to give it away. If you give everything to everybody, you'll have so much stuff you won't have no place to put it. So I love giving. I've always given to the homeless. When I won Star Search for 100,000, I gave half to the homeless. And I wasn't rich. I've always been rich, but not in terms of money. Right. I'm rich because I'm connected to the Holy Spirit. I'm rich because I own myself and I'm positive with who I am. I love life. But if I'm seeing people lying on the ground and can't eat, I'm not going to drive back to my beautiful home and just step over them. Right. I'm not made of that kind of stuff. So I always want to give back. So comedy is a way to give back because comedy is healing. If you can laugh through a thing, right, you can get through a thing, So I love it. And I started out doing comedy as a little bitty boy. I used to tell jokes to my mama, right, because it was my way to have more time with my mother. You know what I'm saying? Because my mama loved to laugh. So I would tell her jokes and hang out with her. I didn't know that later it would become my profession. Sure. In fact, when I was in high school, I used to do silly, goofy stuff. And my brother-in-law said to me one day when I was grown, all grown up, sitting in his condo in Atlanta, he said, Michael, when I used to go to high school with you, I see you running around acting stupid, act like a fool. I said, look at that fool. Right. He said, but I didn't realize you was just practicing for who you were really going to be. So I've always had the knack for it. I always wanted to do comedy, wanted to act, wanted to do theater. I did all the theater plays in my school, that whole thing. I came out and joined a theater company in Chicago called Free Street Theater. So I did theater around the country. When I went in the military, although I was military police, I still worked with theater in the military, So I always sort of did it. And then when I got back and went to Venice Beach and started making real money and started hooking up, it gave me an opportunity to help more people. That's the only reason I want more money, so I can help more people,
Sure. No, I was very moved when I heard that story that even at that young age, you were willing to give money back. Did you feel as a child growing up that it allowed you to have a voice, or like you were talking about this connection with your mother? Just tell us a little bit more about what it was like growing up and really sort of how this was something that kind of maybe allowed you to really express yourself even more than maybe if you had just done piano or just done sports.
Well, my mom was an average mom. We grew up poor. We grew up in the projects. Chicago, Robert Teller Home, South Side, 4352 South State Apartment 909. And my mama raised me and my 4 brothers and pretty much helped raise my dad because he was an alcoholic. So she raised all of us. But it was no special thing except she was our mother. And she loved us. I mean, if she only had $10, she gonna spend $9.99 on us. That's the kind of mother she was. But they instilled values in us. My mother and father, we had to do everything. We had to do chores. When I see kids today that don't have chores, I'm dumbfounded. Right. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Having responsibilities as a kid teaches you how to live responsibly as an adult, So by the time my father died, I was 12. And by then, I already knew how to clean a house, how to do laundry, how to wash dishes, how to cook my own food, how to talk to people, how to carry myself. I think as parents, that's what we're supposed to be doing. It's not raising kids. We're supposed to be raising adults. So teaching the kids how to do the things they need to do to survive if one of us up and die, So my mom just raised us really well. She insisted that we did our school stuff. We had to have good grades. We had to do chores. We had to be responsible and kind. And all those things just breed into character, So we was raised with character. My mother expects certain things from us, I mean, my mother wouldn't have it any other way. She transcended 13 years ago and never left me for a day. I've never shed a tear. She's still with me. So if I'm somewhere eating and I see a senior citizen, especially a Black senior citizen, eating by themselves, I'm going to pick up their meal. And they're like, oh, that's not necessary. Well, ma'am, trust me, I wasn't doing it for you. My mother would want this. My mother would not appreciate it if I walked past this opportunity to help a senior, an elder, especially a Black elder, and didn't do it.
Right.
Not have some explaining to do, so that's how. So my mother just raised us as regular folks. I had 4 big brothers. We went to school, regular school, public school, and we all went our own directions and did our own things. And my thing just happened to be, performance, entertainment.
Right. And it's an amazing story. And then you spoke about doing stuff for the homeless. How do you feel it's so difficult for us to relate and what we need to do to really understand that plight a lot more? Because for many of us, we're only a paycheck or 2 away from dire situations. And
that's what we should think about when it's time to help other people. Because that could be us 2 weeks from now. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So we want to help other people, and we don't want to do it because we expect to get something back. Because then it's not a gift; it's a bargain. Right. You want to help people because it's of your heart. You want to help people because you're already blessed. You want to help people because you're grateful. The Buddha says, arise every morning and be grateful because you have a lot. And if you don't have a lot, at least you got a little. And if you don't have a little, at least you ain't sick. And even if you are sick, at least you ain't dead. So be grateful. And if we're really grateful, then we serve others. Right. We help other people who are less fortunate than us because we know that could be us, So many people have come back to me and blessed me because over the years I blessed them unknowingly, unwittingly. And think about it. I saw that person needed something. I gave it to them. I went about my business. 20 years later, they walk up and say, here, this is for you. And they hug me and they walk away, So I'm very blessed and I'm very happy for the blessings we have. So yes, so the giving thing is all part of my thing. The healing thing is all part of my thing. This world needs so much healing. People are dying every day. We're killing each other like it's going out of style. From Chicago. They've already killed, in my community, 600 people have been murdered. Wow. And the year ain't over yet. They've been doing it like that in Chicago for years. On a weekend, 85 people might get shot. What the fuck? I mean, what's going on? That's why some people call Chicago Chirac. It's like Iraq and Chicago combined. And why are we doing that? We Black people, we should be lifting each other up, healing each other, I'd like to joke to say what we really should be doing is Black folks and Hispanics need to get together and kill all the white folks. But that's comedy. And I know somebody's watching your shit. The nigger said, kill the white folks. I'm joking, it's comedy, but we really should be pulling together. And the name of your show is Laughter is Healing, is Medicine. So I hope I'm healing somebody.
That's something that's so poignant right now. At what point should people get so politically correct about comedy that it starts to not even be comedy? We see that a lot right now where they're not taking it that way. They're taking it very seriously and saying, I feel offended because I'm going to take my personal view on this and it's not a joke anymore. I take it personally.
I think if it's comedy, it should never be politically correct. Yeah. I think great comedians observe and report from their comedic lens. I like that. That's their job. You look at a thing and you see what's the funny in it. You know what I'm saying? This white boy is so funny named Jim Gaffigan. Sure, yeah. He was doing a piece today on Hot Pockets.
Right, yeah.
He said, Hot Pockets? Well, how do you think they came up with that idea? He said, I could see him in a board meeting right now. Hey, why don't we take a Pop-Tart and fill it up with nasty meat? And his boss said, that's a horrible idea. Jump on it. So it's like you take a thing and then you take it and put it through your lens. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be critiqued because it's comedy. We don't mean it.
Right.
As we would call it serious. We don't call it serious, we call it comedy. So you shouldn't put it. You should. I'm not doing politically correct. Now I don't want to beat people up, but I want to make fun of people. Right. But I don't want to make you feel bad about yourself. Like short people don't want to be called midgets. They want to be called little people. But I have a midget friend, and he be drunk and shit, and so I don't want to call him little person, and I don't want to call him midget. So I just cut it in half, and I say little bitty motherfucker. So for me that's funny. But to a short person, it might not be, but I can't worry about what everybody's going to think and say. I don't want to dirty a person up. I don't want to soil you, but I want to have fun. I want to poke you with a little junkie, sweet potato or something, you know.
Let that shield down.
Yeah, man. Relax.
In what way do you feel that laughter can be medicine for people? Your life is emblematic of it.
It's not can be. Medicine, it is medicine. It's not can be. Whether you want it to be or not, humor is healing. It is a scientific fact that if you laugh more, the endorphins and things in your system jump around and you expand your life. Plus, you have a better outlook on life. You become more positive. Positive people live way longer than negative people, you know, because they're laughing. You're a person that enjoys humor. I can tell by your face. You can see in your corner of your eyes the laugh lines. You know, Les Brown tells
crow's feet, but that sounds good. I like laughing.
No, they're not. They're crow's feet for people who are bunions and mean and always frowning. For people who smile, those are laugh lines, brother. And Les Brown tells a story about a man that got fired because his boss didn't like his face. He didn't like the way he looked. He said, get your shit and get out of here. He said, how you gonna fire me? Because you don't like the way I look. He said, because by the time you're 40, you're responsible for your face. You can walk around frowning, all that means that's cut into your face, baby. Get your shit, get out of here, you know? So you can see in your face, you have endured a lot of joy, you know? And joy is where God resides. When people say, I don't believe in God because I've never seen him, I said, look at joy. Find any moment where you see joy happening and you'll see God doing his sacred dance, you know?
Absolutely. You've worked with so many incredible people. Tell us about your big break and sort of what that felt like. Because like you said, you really pulled yourself up from your bootstraps, to say the least. And then literally when you're in the military, when did it really hit you that, okay, I'm on my way, I've got a gift?
I am still on my way. Right now, I'm trying to get a job with my dog, Diamond. Diamond is a singing star. Look. Wait a minute. Okay, you up.
Sounds of joy.
She wants her own show.
Is that trying
Diamond,
to work?
Stop it. No solos. No solos. He's like him. I've been blessed to work with an awful lot of people, and everything I do is a blessing. You know, usually it's a blessing and a lesson, but I've been very blessed. You said, tell us what it's like. It's a joy to work with great people because they're the best at what they do. They're great because they're the best at what they do. You know what I'm saying? To work with Eddie Murphy, what a joy. Martin Lawrence. I'm working with Martin again this weekend. I'm doing that great comedy tour he does, doing the Lit AF. To work with Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac, the one got me on Def Jam. So to work with great people is a great thing. But you can do anything if you do your work. You can work with the great people in your society, in your realm, in your heart, if you do the work, man. Everything's about doing the work. You know?
Talk to us about the hard times. Laughter obviously can be used for it, but what's an experience that you went through and you really felt like, okay, my belief, my faith, my joy, laughter, my life, people that I know really kind of helped me work through a really difficult time?
This is probably going to disappoint you, but I've never had one of those. I've never had hard times. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't have a clue. I've been doing comedy 35 years. I've never bombed. So I don't know what that's like. I've never had a great illness. I did crack cocaine. I did that for 23 years, but I wasn't crying about it. Don't cry for me, Argentina. I was having a ball. A lot of people be like, oh, I did drugs in my life. Shit, nigga, I was partying my ass off. You hear me? Now, I lost a lot along the way. I lost money and opportunities, and friendships, all that kind of stuff. But dude, I found myself in dirty motel rooms smoking with motherfuckers I generally wouldn't talk to on the street. You know what I'm saying? I was having a fucking ball. But of course, I lost a lot of footage, a lot of ground, a lot of people who are multimillionaires, and I'm not. because I made a different decision. Everything we have becomes from the choices we made. I made choices that did not enable me to be wealthy. You know what I'm saying? And so instead I said, why don't I take this rock and drop it on this hot piece of glass and see what happens, you know? And so I got that result. I had a party for a night. Well, my friends who stayed on the straight and narrow are partying right now all day long at the best of the best because they made a different choice. But I don't be-hoo and boo-hoo about it. Everything that happens to you brings you to where you are now. I did 23 years of crack, but as of this March 1st, I have 10 years of pure sobriety. And now I get to talk about that and heal other people because I've actually had that experience, Doc. So I can't think of the hard times, you know. I've had wives that didn't work out. I was one wife for 12 years, didn't work out. My next wife, I was with her for 24, I was married to her 24 years, with her 28 years. But it was over, and when it was over, it was over. My latest goddess, I've been with her 9 years. We just ended it in June. She's still gonna be in my house for like another week, you know, as she figure out what she's doing. But I am not mad at her. Hell, I'm driving her home to live with her daddy in Albuquerque. I'm driving. I ain't mad. Sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. The thing is, you can't let circumstances determine your attitude. I will always have an attitude of gratitude because God is behind my game. God is the one calling the shots. He's the head kookamuka and bottle washer in my life, the king of the universe and the ruler of my soul. You know, we ain't just hanging out. We're in a relationship, man. Me and God are in a relationship.
Do you feel like it was the Lord that's instrumental in helping you make that transition sort of out of really sort of
feel like it? I know it.
You know,
I know it. All good things come from God, brother. All good things. It is God that helped me. I mean, of course, you got to help yourself too. You know, I get sick and tired of being sick and tired of watching my then wife, you know, crying all the time, coming in 3:30 in the morning, you know, my heart pumping fast, eyes rolling around my head, sweating like R. Kelly in a playground. And I got tired of that, you know, and I couldn't turn it around on my own. I had to turn it around through the help of God. Every program, whether it's CA, NA, AA, even AAA, all say that you have to have a connection, a relationship with your higher source. And that's the higher source of your choosing. So they don't say you have to be with Jesus, or you got to be with Allah, or you got to be with Muhammad, or you got to be with, you know, it's whatever your choosing is, but there is something greater than you that created everything from nothingness and did it in the name of love. You got to bow down to that. You got to love that. You got to respect that and hold that up, you know? And then when you do that, you can heal, you can unfold. Mama, stop it. Leave it alone now. I'm sorry. She has a sore on her foot.
Oh, God.
She got a big old cone.
No, I believe it.
On her head to keep her from getting it, but she'll go around the cone and chew on her leg, you know? If she think I ain't looking, she do it. But I see her and I hear her over there, knock it off. I'm sorry.
So here's a question of insight. What makes people so afraid to be willing to say, let me give it to my higher power. Let me not be afraid to sort of trust that if I walk in the light, I will do better.
I don't know. So many people can't believe what they can't see. But the truth of the universe is the opposite. You don't see it. You don't get it first. You see it first. Because what you see is what you get. You have to see your future first. You have to see. You want a car. You have to see you having that car. You want $1 million. You got to see you getting that $1 million before you get that $1 million. You ain't got to get the $1 million and go look at it. By the end, you off to your next 10 million. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people can't see it. Our society and most of the world is built on fear, you know, and fear is the opposite of faith. Fear is faith in the negative. Fear is faith in the hobgoblin and the boogeyman that's coming, you know? It ain't gonna work. Stay away from the black man, you know? Don't mess with that person. Don't go over here because that's profitable. So people go with the profit, but God is the truth, you know? And I love money, don't get me wrong. I love money. My money ain't God, but it is the lubrication of life. You can't really actualize your dreams if you can't pay your rent, you know. But we sometimes get our priorities, most of the time, get our priorities mixed up and don't remember that we have to keep God first. If once you start keeping God first, any fear you have falls to the wayside. Because in my heart, there is no fear, for now I know that God is here. Right. In my heart, there is no fear, for now I know that God is here. And when you remember this God is here, right, there is no place where God is not. No matter how dingy and dirty and low down and rotten, there is no crack house, no whore house. There's no place where God is not. Right. In every space he resides. And he stands there with you, waiting for you to ask for his embrace, and he'll joyfully jump in. But he don't force himself on you. Right. He don't play the game like that. He chills out and waits for you to want to. He lets you know he's there, but God is like a buffet. You know, you go to the buffet, you might want some of these, you might want some of that, but you won't know ever there. For me, it's the texture. Like I said, I'll never eat okra or okra. Right. And you go to the buffet, and if there's things that you can use, you use it. If there's nothing on the buffet, don't worry about it. Right. The buffet will still be there. I'm not even supposed to be talking. I'm supposed to be on voice rest. And that's why my throat is soaring up again. So we're going to start to wind this down. But God is always there. He's always there. The Spirit is always there. Some of us don't even know about it. Some of us know about it and choose to ignore it. Okay. You get on a plane, and you take a chance. Right. That this 10 tons of metal is going to get off the ground and fly you somewhere else.
Exactly, and then land safely.
You don't see the pilot,
right?
But you still believe in him.
Right.
You believe in him enough to put your life in his hands, but you don't even see that motherfucker. You don't know if he just smoked some weed or did a couple of lines. You don't know.
Right.
God appreciates it if you recognize that he's there, but I don't have a jealous God. I don't have a God to say, you got to believe in me or I'll crush you. I don't believe in none of that shit. Nothing is dealing with fear has anything to do with God, you know? See, people even try to frighten you with COVID because they want you to take that vaccine. And they want you to take it so bad, they'll frighten you. You know, God created for COVID. That's why it's all over the world, killing people all over the world because he's upset with the world. Fuck out of here. My God is not a punisher.
No.
My God, why he need to punish you? You think you did something that God did not see you gonna do it without you? So you think you surprised God?
No, it's not.
No. You didn't see that coming. Right. No, he don't have no reason to be mad at you. And if God wants to smite your ass, he just smites you. Why he got to drag it out and kill your grandmama and the kids in there?
Exactly. Right. No.
Like that.
Sure. Show is called
I don't do fear. I don't do fear. I do joy.
I believe it. I mean, we'll make this the last question since you brought it up. The whole concept of vaccine. I know you recently did it. What do you think should be the general mindset here? Because like you were kind of saying, I think you set it up already. We don't need to be afraid. If for some reason somebody chooses not to do it, okay. But in terms
I'm an anti-vaxxer, but I get vaxxed.
Right.
So I think it's you. It's your body. I'm very clear on this. This is your holy temple. Yeah. When the Bible speaks of your holy temple, it is talking about this encasement that's around your spirit. That's called your body. It's on you to protect that. You gotta be very careful what you put in there. I'm an anti-vaxxer. I don't believe in this vaccine because they don't believe in the vaccine. The people making it already told us it's experimental. So they don't really know all the shit that's in there. But I've been getting shots by people who call themselves doctors my whole life and never knew what the fuck is in there. I just said, okay, put it right there. You ready? Okay, wait. Ah! Fucker. Give me the candy cane. But this particular thing, it took a long time for the FDA to approve it. And the people who make it even say they're not sure what the effects will be. 4 months from now, my arm might grow out in the chest. I don't know. So that should make it my choice, whether I want it or not. It's my body.
Right.
You open your body up to government and let them put in whatever they want because they think it's best for the society.
Right.
Then you're back to Orwell's 1984. You back to government controlling your body. You do that, then what did they decide that sterilization is good for society? We want to hold down the births. What if they decide to lobotomize? You don't want a lobotomy, but the government says it's good for everybody else. So no, this is your body. They're not even supposed to ask you about your medical shit. And what's going on in your body is medical. So my take on it is, it's your choice. For the longest, I fought it. Didn't have the vaccine, but had the card said I did.
Right.
You can get them from anywhere for $20. You can get them at Starbucks with your coffee. Right. But I'm about to go on this magnificent cruise. This is going to give me a briefcase full of money. But I can't get on there without the proper vaccine. What? How much y'all giving me? Which arm you want? You want the left or you want the right? But it was my choice.
Right.
I didn't let nobody make me do it. I made a choice based on economics. Yeah. I want that finance. I want to shop. I think I'll be all right, you know? So that's what I did. But I'm an anti-vaxxer. I'm not for this vaccine. I still don't think it's proper. I still don't think people know what they're doing, but they're forcing it on you because the group of people who probably don't take it themselves have insisted you take it. And that same group of people who created it are probably making $5,000 a shot of what you think is free. Or it's free, but somebody's paying them, and that's our government dollars. So billionaires are becoming bigger billionaires. So you'll take this vaccine, they're telling you it's good for you, but we're not quite knowing what's in there, you know? Right. So I'm an anti-vaxxer, but I vax out of what I consider practical for my financial needs. Hey, I made a choice. I'm a whore. I laid down and took it because the money was right. I'm sorry.
No, you're keeping it honest. I love it. This has been Laughter Medicine with Michael Colyar. It doesn't get any funnier. I mean, he has been there and done it, worked with so many greats, and now has 3, not 1, but 3 shows going on during COVID.
The main one I push is the morning show. Make sure you go to YouTube, go on YouTube, put in the Michael Colyar Morning Show, jump on 5 days a week. We're live. You don't have to watch us live. You can watch us anytime, day or night. Just go to YouTube, put in the Michael Colyar Morning Show, pick any episode. They're all fabulous. You can also follow me on Instagram if you want to know what I'm doing. I'm on something. I'm in someplace concerting almost every weekend. You can follow me on my very sexy web page, therealmichaelcolyar.com, where you can buy merchandise. You can see photos. You can pull photos. You can see, I mean, when I say merchandise, I'm selling everything. I got T-shirts, hats, caps. I got books, CDs, DVDs, fish sandwiches. Everything. We sell it all. And if you really love me and want to follow me, you can follow me on my Cash app. That's $ Michael Colyar's money. I like to make it easy for other people to give me their money. So I want to thank you, Doc, for letting me share some laughter and hopefully a little wisdom.
Definitely.
And I'm going to leave people with knowing that it's all really okay. It's all good. It's all good because it's all God. No matter what anybody tells you. Hold on for 1 second, Tricia. No matter what anybody tells you, it's all good because it's all God. And if you keep God first, you could do anything. You can go anywhere. You could climb the tallest mountain. You could swim through the deepest sea, and you're going to come back unscathed as long as you keep God first, you know? So I appreciate you, Doc, and thank you for letting me be on your show.
Thanks so much. And we appreciate your show and all you keep bringing to us. Thanks, and continue God's blessings on you. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, my friend. Have a good one, okay?
You too as well. Thanks.
I gotta go talk to this exceptionally beautiful woman right now. So you
welcome to Film and Medicine. I'm your host, Dr. Moshe Lewis.
Always having the mindset of whatever I'm gonna do my best.
You are joining an award-winning. This is not a typical story. This is not a topic that's always addressed